Well, good evening, good people and Eagle fans. I see Holly Pierce is in the first one in here. She's numero uno right now. Shout out to Holly Pierce. Hope you're doing good. Getting ready for the Dan Selio show. Just got back in, finished with the kitchen from hell. Thank God that thing is done. And all the flooring and stuff. My knees are screaming like crazy. And speaking of screaming like crazy and down on my knees, we're getting ready for the Dan Selio show here to start in a few minutes. Daniel, how are you doing? Bless you too, brother. Couple of notes real quick before we get into the Dan Selio show on the practice today. Solid day from Dak Prescott in the end of the first half situation where the offense had 1:15 left on the clock, trailing by 8. Prescott completed 6 of his 8 pass attempts, with the drive capped off by a touchdown pass to Jake Ferguson in the seam, with coverage draped all over him. Converted a 2-point conversion on a rollout pass to Miles Sanders. Micah Parsons participated in some drills, but wasn't part of the team periods. There's still heavy rotation at corner. Deron Bland, Israel McConaughey, and Khalil Elam also took what?
Diggs might be ready week 1.
Okay. Breaking news. Mike says Diggs might be ready week 1. I wouldn't rush him. Though. I want to make sure his ass is. Who said? He said that? Words. Okay. So breaking news per Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction that Diggs says he may be ready for week 1. Ward family in the house. What's up? How are you doing? Joe Milton was back up today with a couple of errant throws. Surprise, surprise. And taking some time off to decide on a target, but some rope to one move to Ryan Fenoy and another to Mingo in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Donovan Easy is starting to stand out more. His bend is in full display, and he's getting to the backfield. Speaking of getting to the backfield, Martez got to the quarterback a few times on 11-on-11. So that's where we are. Tracy 3, Cowboys. Been watching for a couple months now. Good energy. Appreciate that, man. Welcome to being a channel member. I don't know if I'm seeing that you got the 4. If you haven't gotten your shot glass and your squeeze star, email me cowboysmark94@gmail so we can get that out to you. I see Jeff Lee. I like boobies, and my name is Jeff. Linda, how you doing? So let me go ahead and go into the studio here and listen to Dan the Man. Let's see.
From Michael. What's up, Christopher? Following up on his earlier chat about Keely Ringo.
I don't know why I do this. Why do I do this?
Ringo can't even get on the field. Rodgers beat him out. If Rodgers would have accepted a 1-year deal, he'd be back and starting at the cornerback 2 spot. Fake news, Christopher Michael. I'm not buying that for a second. Keely Ringo is ready to rock.
Oh,
Christopher, they were not going to pay Keely Ringo $8 million to play the opposite corner when they just got rid of.
It sounds like Dan's losing his voice.
Getting rid of Slay. I'm thinking that you know what?
Jeff Lee. Jeff, how did you take it from Holly?
That they'll regret.
No, Keely Ringo is going to be good.
Angry Cowboys fans, brother. No, I didn't, Drew. What happened to his brother?
Half the year, man.
Okay.
What happened to his brother, Drew?
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that Slay wasn't great last year, and he did provide a lot. But I'm not saying that he was replaceable. I mean,
Daniel, Dallas is coming different this year. I love that. Appreciate the super chat. We'll get you added into
we will be here.
The hopper.
Fly Eagles. Do we look like the kind of people who hang up the cleats? We don't hang up the cleats.
Daniel Cromartie.
Drunk. It's the best time of the year for me.
What
You kidding me?
Malibu Xander?
Okay.
Oh, there's your boy. There's your boy.
There's your boy.
I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Ask Mark though. Who's the face?
Wait. There's your boy Paul.
Huh?
Oh, is he? There he is. Brian Pup. Surprise.
Okay.
My 7th heaven is ready for the challenge. Banana pudding is
Lady
booty
Libra in the
cake.
house. Appreciate you.
Let's go, Brian Pump. I said this earlier.
Oh, man. His brother passed away? Damn, I got to reach out to him.
Possibly the greatest
Damn.
pumper take of all time, brother, will
Keely
be Keely Ringo, who is now
He's a nobody.
dominating camp.
Let me put this in your fucking book.
He
Oh,
dominated the mini
Keely
camp.
Ringo will be benched by week 2.
No, he won't.
Oh, man.
For Dory, I just got cut from the fucking Giants.
JD3 says another day with the best coach
Jack's
in the
gonna
world.
throw for
Logan
500
Motorsports
yards on
says,
Keely
what's
Ringo.
going on?
No,
Jimbo in the
Jack's not throwing
house.
for 500 on anybody.
Shout out to everybody
Another
who's
day with
coming
the best
here.
coach in the world and future Hall of Famer.
A
Nicky
Crown
19,
79, appreciate
Nicky
you.
19,
Lady Libra,
baby.
double dipping.
Nicky 19.
Appreciate
Greatest
you.
ass kisser head coach in the history.
By the way,
of
Howard
the
Epps didn't
NFL.
prove shit. Nick Sirianni makes
Nick
19
Sirianni,
million.
greatest ass kisser of all time.
Howard doesn't know shit about what Nick makes.
Damn, they're spicy today.
15 million, baby.
No, it's not.
Oh, I
No, it's
know.
not. All right, I'm out of here. See you, Phils.
All right, man. My question's going to be, shit, man. If you're the Cowboys, you know what I
Oh,
would
here
do?
we go.
I would pull a Lou Holtz.
A Lou Holtz.
This is the shit I would do. Yeah, man. The Eagles are fucking great. I mean, they're just too fucking good.
Here we go.
We can't hang with them. The name is now deemed Philly Ringo.
Philly.
Ringo and Adoree Jackson are your corners? Or no, is your one corner?
Okay.
Well, I'm not in on that.
Wait till they see George
I had
Pickens and
conversations
C.D. Lamb.
I asked him, we're going to get Mark up here in a minute. Philly.500's right around the corner, too. And I asked him, and I go, how you feel about your roster? Are you going to make a move? Now, here's the deal. Dallas Cowboys sniffing around T.J. Watt. Would Dallas have two $30 million plus edge rushers? Is that what they would do? Supposedly, Alexander is talking with the Cowboys, too. Would you have depth? Are the Cowboys going to do that?
No.
Has Jerry got to move here? Is he going to trade for Trey Hendrickson?
No.
I mean, what would that do? The Cowboys, if they're going to be a player this year, the Dallas Cowboys have to be great on defense. Because, again, they have to be great on defense. Now, Houston Texans signed Nick Chubb. And so look at the backfield with the Texans. They got Joe Mixon, and now they've got
Fake news. Fake news.
Chubb's either going to be a grand slam or he's going to be a failure. So what's Dallas going to do?
What's that? What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do?
What are the Cowboys going to do? All right. You know, I got to hand it to my boy, Mark Holmes.
Oh, here we go.
Desperate move.
Desperate
Oh, I
move.
see. So if the Eagles make it, it's not a desperate move with all the losses they have. But if the Cowboys do, it's a
Let me turn
desperate
it
move.
up.
Jerry Jones believed in player development. Okay? All right.
Had to turn it up.
I can't wait for this every single week. This is one of my favorite segments. Mark, I have to hand it to him the last
Alexa,
2 weeks.
turn up the lamps.
Has come in stronger. I think the season's last dress rehearsals here. And I think Mark's looking forward to September 4th. With all that said, they're great. Mark Holmes, the Dallas Cowboy man himself, covers the Cowboys better than anybody in Big D. And our friend, the king, the champ, Philly.500, they join us now for Battle Royale. Here we are. Look
What's
at
happening?
I'm ready to fight,
doing,
man.
boys?
I'm ready to fight.
You're
man.
giving this guy
Bring
false
it on.
hope,
Bring it
false
on.
bravado.
Bring it on, man. Come on.
Trying to build him up. He's getting his ass kicked every week.
85 days, 3 hours, 48 minutes, and 13 seconds, bro. Are you ready? Are you ready, brother? Are you
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, all right.
feeling with Keely Ringo out there.
I feel good. I feel good.
Ooh, wait till you see the
good.
speed of George Pickens and
I'd
C.D.
rather have
Lamb
Ringo
on them
better
dudes,
than
brother.
Trevon Diggs, the old Mr. Oh, I got a sore ACL. Yeah, we're all right. We're all
So
right.
wait a minute here. So you're comfortable with Adoree Jackson who was cut?
I think Adoree Jackson can hold the fort down if need be. But Ringo's going to win the job unless the Eagles want to go out and get another corner. If you're going to tell me that the coaches, Christian Parker, Vic Fangio, these guys who coached the defense last year that was #1 and won a Super Bowl, if you're going to tell me they're okay with it, then I'm okay with it. I trust it.
How about this? When you say Christian Parker, he was with Jahar Alexander in Green Bay. Does that make a connection for you that they would entertain that?
It does, because I think there's a possibility. I'm not saying it's definite, but I could totally see the Eagles do it. If you want an insurance policy, why not bring him in for a 1-year prove-it deal? He's probably wants big money. He's not going to get it. He wants to go to a team that he could show that he deserves the money. What better team than the Eagles? So I'm open to it, but I still think Ringo's got to get a chance to win the job, regardless.
So that means week 1 against Dallas. All right, Mark, you tell me what.
Like, I'm scared of that.
What version of Dak are we going to get in 2025?
You're going to get Dak that was
The greatest version, the greatest.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Is your name Mark? Is your name Mark? Don't speak till spoken to, chump. Shut your pie hole. Shut your pie hole.
You're delusional, Mark.
Shut your pie hole, son.
I'm your conscience.
Why do I do this? Why do I do this? You know, I'm over here in my own world here. Everything is good, and I come in here on Wednesday afternoon to get disrespected by your pie hole. Now shut up and let me answer the question.
Wipe your ass with your own hand.
Go ahead, Mark. Let me hear you, brother.
Actually, right now, Dak is looking pretty good. Today, touchdown pass. They basically 11 on 11. Situation was you're down by 8 points. The boom ends up hitting George Pickens in the end zone, hits Miles Sanders on the 2-point conversion and so on. But we know that this is just mini camp, man. This don't mean shit till they put the pads on and go for real. In fact, mini camp and training camp really don't mean anything. It's really when you get into the games. But right now, I tell you one thing that looks good, that's going to help us, that definitely, good luck, Kylie Ringo, with my man who's got the flypaper hands in George Pickens, who's catching everything. That guy seems to have been the biggest blessing that the Dallas Cowboys have had. This, I don't understand what problems they had with the Steelers, but this guy is on a new leaf, and he is doing everything the right way, and that will help Dak.
I want to give you this here, and I want to give you a comment here, and this goes to you, Philly. So Chris Sims just came out with his top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay. Oh, he won't have Dak in it. He won't have Dak in it.
And
hater.
He dropped Jalen Hurts, who won the MVP award just a couple months ago in February, and he put Baker Mayfield, and this is who he has ahead of him. Lamar Jackson, I guess, is #1 overall. So he has Lamar, Allen, the usual suspects, Burrow in the top 4, Jaden Daniels 5, Matthew Stafford 6, C.J. Stroud 7, Herbert 8, and Baker Mayfield 9, and Jalen Hurts 10. I mean, why the disrespect for the reigning Super Bowl MVP?
It's been. I mean, look who's doing it. It's been disrespectful from the get-go. So guys like that, I just think their ego gets hurt when they're wrong, and instead of being humble and say, man, I was wrong about this guy, they double down. They'll sneaky, they'll be sneaky about where they give compliments, but then at the moments like this, they double down on their stupidity. First of all, Lamar Jackson's not the #1 quarterback. So right there, I have a problem with the list. I don't see how you can't put Mahomes on there. I mean, let's just be fair. 5 Super Bowls for sure. I just don't see that. So, right there, I already have a problem with the list. And we're on #1. So, no, I don't put much stock into what he says.
How about the fact that A.J. Brown today said that he needed a real quarterback to throw with him in the offseason? And this was posted on John Clark's Twitter page. And that Jalen, I guess, is Malibu Hurts now. And he's out in Malibu hanging out with all the honeys, and he's hanging out with the Hollywood types. And this is John Clark, not me. This ain't Big Sills. He said, I need a quarterback to throw with me. We got 5 guys on the roster. I mean, I take that as a cryptic shot at Hurts. That what happened with the relationship, dude?
I don't think
these guys are as friendly as they used to be.
I don't think it has anything to do with it, except for Hurts can't be there to throw to him. It's it. He's somebody
Tanner McKee can't either.
Well, I don't know what Tanner McKee is doing.
Oh, he must have engagements too.
Maybe he's got a date. I don't know.
Well, what's McCord, the rookie?
Maybe he's going to Skinny Joey Merlino's cheesesteak shop, and he's bringing a couple packages and envelopes. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you then, Mark. What kind of relationship does CD have with Dak?
Oh, they got a great relationship. But let me at least, before I touch on that, is Doc Walker, okay, former Hog.
Doc, great guy.
Doc always says, I love Doc Walker, even though he hates the Cowboys. He says it's hard to be hungry when your refrigerator's full. And see, herein lies the problem that Hollywood or California dreaming Jalen Hurts, and you get, of course, the Madden covers. You got all of these now new distractions because all of a sudden everybody wants a piece of you, where the focus gets a little bit lost on the field. Now, as far as Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and I'm going to put George Pickens in there too. This is the new triplets where we got 2 receivers because they're all on the same page. They're all on the same page working together to try and build something. You can shake your hand. But you know what?
Why are you not in agreement, Philly?
Because this is like the same shit we've heard for the last 10 years with Dallas. Every year, it's their year. They're in agreement.
One of these years is going to be right. One of them is going to be right.
One of these days, but not for another 50 years.
You know what?
All I care
they say?
about the Cowboys. The only thing that matters about the Cowboys is what do you do in the playoffs?
Boy.
That's what I want to.
You got to get to the playoffs before you can do anything in there. So that's the rule. That's the first thing we have to do.
We'll see if they get there.
Hey, Philly, how come you dismissed the 9-4? This has nothing to do with the playoffs on September 4th. He does play good against you guys.
Here's why I do.
Because it won't matter. Because they're going to choke in the playoffs.
It's not the same team. You're not dealing with the team that we currently have. 3 years ago is not the same team, Sills. 4 years ago is not the same team. If this was the old days and there wasn't free agency and you kept guys around a lot longer, there would be more stock in it. But to me, it doesn't hold a lot of stock when we were up and down the last, 10 years of his career. The team that we're currently constructed is not the team that he beat before. So that's why I don't put a lot of stock in it.
Let me ask you this then. Mark, what's the strength of the Dallas Cowboys in 2025? It'll be what?
Definitely the passing game. And surprisingly, the linebackers. Our linebacking core is actually changed. You know what? I'm sick of your side.
All I'm doing is giving you the eye,
your side eyes.
Shut up and answer the question.
Without a doubt, the passing game is going to be good. You've talked about Jalen Tolbert being a decent receiver. He's just not a number 2. He actually had a decent season last year. He will thrive this year having George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb out there. In the same way, we always get credit how good Cedric Wilson was. He was only good for 1 year when we had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb because everybody had to focus on those guys, that number 3 receiver becomes really good. And if our offensive line can play well, it will be the passing game, which will help open up the run.
Do you think, Mark, one of the reasons why you're high on the passing game is because the coordinator's now the head coach and the relationship with the quarterback is, again, here's the one thing that I'll give Philly on this. Hurts has had to adapt to it and had to accept it. He's had 6 play callers since he's been in Philly.
That's crazy. That's like Commanders.
And he's still won, which is nutty. Okay? And I'll say this to you, Philly. Do you not think, he's finally accepted it, right? Because at the end of the day, that's just how they do business. 6 coordinator changes since he's been in Philadelphia is a lot.
Yeah, I almost look at him as a de facto offensive coordinator at this point. I mean, at what point isn't he? He's seen how many different systems, how many different situations. He's got to be becoming an expert on all the different scenarios and different things. So I almost look at him as a de facto offensive coordinator at this point, to be honest with you.
I will say, though, he does get a little help because he does have the best offensive line in football. And when you do have a 2,000-yard running back and you're only asked to throw 18 touchdown passes, it's not like we're saying you got to throw, 35, 40 times a game and have to win the games for us, that either it's your arm and you having to do that. He has fortunately has, and to your credit, you have a great offense all the way around that's well balanced. So you can, when you got a great offensive line, everybody's a freaking genius.
No doubt about it. When you have a great offensive line,
we're agreeing
you're going to win
something?
a lot of games, and you should be able to go far in the playoffs. That's why Dak Prescott had the best offensive line the first 3 years of his career. He did nothing with it. But we do agree, offensive line is important, Mark. It wasn't good enough for Dak, but it is good enough for Jalen Hurts. And the fact is, Hurts
you forgot to put in there.
You know
the
what?
Second year
when
of
Hurts
that
has to make the throw, he makes the throw. When he has to make that first down, he makes that first down. He gets less opportunities to do more. So I don't know how you can blast a guy for that.
To correct you, I'm glad to see that you're finally saying that Dak Prescott hasn't had the greatest offensive line every year like you usually do. You say it's the first 3 years.
Nobody said he had the greatest offensive line.
No, but hold on. Career. The second year that Dak Prescott was there was the year that we were dealing with Zeke Elliott being suspended for 6 games, and every week he was going to New York fighting that thing. So I don't know that you could look and say that second year was a great year for Dak, even though he didn't have his running back. And the third year was when...
What running back does he have this year?
Well, he's got Miles Sanders. It's running back by committee. But at least he has... Now, the difference between then and now is Dak is a better quarterback than he was as a rookie in his sophomore year. That having these 2 wide receivers are going to open up things to help the running game. And it's still not ideal.
How about this for you? Hey, Philly, give me a breakout Eagle this year.
Keely Ringo.
Here we go.
Yeah, you didn't like that one.
Keely Ringo.
I'm saying Ringo, and I'll give you another.
He'll be benched by week 2.
He's going to
be burnt toast week 1.
He's going to be a stud. But the other one is Jalix Hunt. Jalix Hunt is a star in the making. I heard the first time I ever heard that kid talk, I knew he was a star. Jalix Hunt is going to be a monster.
I got to tell you, hey, Philly, you know who I'm really starting to like a lot?
Jordan Davis.
No, not White Castle. I like White Castle too, if you can tell. But I like this kid, Nolan Smith. I like the fact when he gets up there in front of the mic, man, he looks like a leader. Hey, Mark, for you, give me a breakout Cowboy.
I actually think it's going to be rookie Donovan Easy, and he's so far looking really good. Again, it's mini camp and stuff, but the way he bend the edge, I think that he's going to end up being really, really good. That'll help us out on that defense.
So for you, how do you feel about Kevin Patullo? Now, I want to give you something on what Jalen said yesterday. So Jalen, when asked the question about Kevin Patullo being a good offensive coordinator, he goes, whoa. Way too soon, because I don't know the sequencing. We don't know how he's going to go through, again, calling a play. Do you have any concern? Even though, hey, I'll say this, Philly, I don't care he's been in the building 1,000 years, but he's never been a play caller. And that's a feel for the game. So in your opinion, do you have any concern about this?
Slight concern because we don't know. But I would assume, like I said, I think Hurts is the de facto offensive coordinator here anyways. I can't imagine them going away too much from what they've done in the past. We'll see how he calls plays. I think there's reasons to, want to see him prove it. But, they're just so talented, and you know what they're going to do. There's nothing like fancy about what they're going to do, Sills. They're going to beat you up and wear you down, and that's it. I don't think you need a brain surgeon to to run that offense, to be honest.
Mark, I'm going to ask you a tough question. Dak. All right.
Let me get ready for this one.
If you're Jerry Jones and you're Stephen Jones, and when the baton gets passed and you're Stephen Jones and you're running the Cowboys, and you've seen all these years, this is the 10th year for Dak Prescott, 2025, how are in the world, if this guy doesn't, you know what? You don't have to win the Super Bowl this year, but you have to go somewhere in the playoffs.
Oh, definitely. Well,
you just can't limp in, get knocked out by the Bucs or whatever, and you just can't. And going into another year, because this is Jerry's last year, Steven's going to take over. In your opinion, I mean, how big is 2025 for Dak?
Well, he's got to stay healthy. That's going to be the big thing. And basically, with the way the contract is set up, you really have this year and next year, and then there's an out. And so I think that you still have 2 seasons because you don't have an heir apparent. And you're not going to be in a position to just grab one of those guys. And when you look around at free agency, there's not a lot of good answers. This is the problem for every team out there. The fact that the Steelers have been held hostage by Aaron Rodgers. There's not a whole lot of options right there. There's nobody you can say that's on the roster that's ready to take over. Now, Joe Milton in practice so far is seeming to take a lot of time to make decisions and overthrowing people. And Will Greer's not the answer. So until you got something better, there's not much you can do.
How about this, Philly? I'm going to ask you and then go back to Mark, and I want to watch Mark's face when I ask you this. Every contract can be moved. We've seen it. Matthew Stafford, what have you. Everything can be done, especially with the way you can defer money today. Dak can be moved. Now, he has no trade, but you have to ask Dak, how much longer do you want to stay in Dallas? I mean, Joe Burrow's going to ask the same question in Cincinnati if that fucker can't. If they can't maintain players like Trey Hendrickson, why would you stay there with Mike Brown who doesn't open up the zipper? I got 2 options for Dallas. Now, you tell me who's the better quarterback, Baker Mayfield or Dak?
Am I being honest?
4,600 yards last year.
Am I being honest?
And he's a free agent, and he's beaten the Eagles 2 of the last 3 years.
I think. God, I hate to freaking say this shit. I don't want to say this.
Yeah, you go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
I think Dak's a better quarterback, regular season quarterback, not playoffs, but regular season quarterback. I don't know what Mayfield is in the playoffs either, though. To be honest,
well,
he's beat you.
He did beat us, but that team, we were walking. We came in as the Walking Dead. So
he beat the shit out of you last year in the regular season too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm keeping it real, and I'm trying to be honest. Like I said, I think Dak's a better regular season quarterback. I don't think he's a very good big game quarterback. But I would say I'll be honest. I would take Dak before I would take Mayfield.
Now, how about this one? If you're Stephen Jones, I mean, and Joe Burrow wants out, I'm telling you, if Joe Burrow doesn't win this year, I would want the fuck out of Cincinnati. And if I'm Dallas,
wouldn't be the first one.
I would do everything in my power to try to make a trade for Cincinnati to get Joe Burrow in there.
But I'll say this though: if Dak don't take them to the NFC Championship game,
what's the point of paying him $60?
He's got to go.
Mark, don't you agree? If you have a transition plan, I mean, and you don't go anywhere, and you get bumped in the opening round, and then you're going into an 11th year, it's like you're in the toilet bowl. You're just circling. You're not going down. You're not doing anything. It's got to get to a point where there's got to be a return. Let me ask a
question here. What other rookie coach has Super Bowl or bust on him?
Nobody. You're in Dallas, though.
What does that mean? I keep hearing that shit. You know what? Sorry. The star is tarnished, bro. It's been 30 years in ineptitude. I keep hearing this stuff. Well, we got standards. You have standards, but you're sitting there going home alone in the club because your standards are so fucking high that the chick that wants to go ahead and do you. Oh, no. I got standards.
He's already given Dak
bro, I hate to tell you.
He's already given him a pass for this year.
You can't go ahead and have. Hold on, bro.
Dak Prescott's a $32 32-year-old quarterback. Of course,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but now you have a first-time head coach and a whole new coaching staff, and you literally have
not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
Hurts deals with that every year.
Okay, he deals with an offensive coordinator. We wipe the slate clean on everybody. You're starting all over from an ass team last year, and you're bringing in more players.
Hey, wait a minute. Let me show you this, Mark.
Go ahead.
2022, they went to the Super Bowl, and they hired a training wheels coordinator, and they fucking fell apart. That could go down the route this time the same way.
True.
The last time they had success, they hired outside the organization twice, Steichen, and also what they did with Kellen a year ago. There's no giving that thing's going to be a fucking success. Okay, so Hurts has to deal with that and overcome that. 6 different coordinators. They're still winning. Dude, I disagree, Mark. I think Dallas has a standard. Bro, you're the biggest brand in the world. You can't fucking go 7-9.
I didn't say 7-9. I said the team is better. But to say that to go from 7-9 last year to NFC Championship with the brand new coach, you're putting expectations that maybe aren't there yet.
They went from a nuclear meltdown where they were 6-8 in the last 13 games and won the Super Bowl the following year.
That's right.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No excuses, Mark.
You're carving up excuses.
No excuses. Brand. Okay, I hear what you Eagles are saying, but you're getting ahead. You're getting the horse before the cart right now.
Yeah,
or the cart before the horse.
Now and never. All in. Dak Prescott. What do you got this year? Let's see. You know he's going to fail. That's what it is. You already know he's going to fail.
If Dak Prescott right now were to retire, what kind of career would he have had in Dallas, in your opinion?
Tony Romo.
Okay.
I mean, basically, right now he's on the precipice of breaking Tony Romo's Cowboys records.
Wow.
So that's where you are. I mean, you've got Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, Danny White, Tony Romo, Dak Prescott. I mean, that's where you would be if he could get to a Super Bowl and win it. Then he's number 3, but he's got to do that. That's the only thing that's missing from his career right now.
For you, Philly, why did disrespect around the National Football League and around in the media circles about Jalen Hurts?
I think there's a lot of people within the media, and just my opinion, that have been wrong about him, have been totally wrong about him. And they can't humble themselves enough to say, hey, look, I was wrong about the kid. So they look for these reasons to make excuses on why he's not a good quarterback or why he can't do this or he can't do that. But all he does is keep winning. So, to me, I don't put a lot of stock in what they say.
But here, I'm going to put, when you see a PFF ranking or you see Chris Sims,
I don't
put whatever. Well, I'm just saying here, when you're talking about the best talents, I said this yesterday, and you tell me if you agree. When you look at the other guys that are ranked ahead of him, it's because you're based on individual skill set. Nobody's ever going to say Lamar Jackson is a greater. I mean, Tom Brady is a greater athlete than Lamar Jackson. That's just not going to happen. The problem that you have with those lists is this. I think you have to be the smartest player in the league at that position to win. The best teammate to win. And Hurts falls in that line. Jalen Hurts, when you line him up with Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, bro, he's not in the room with them. But is he smarter than Lamar? Yes. I think he sees the game better than Lamar. I think he's smarter at times than Josh Allen. You win Super Bowls with smarts. You don't have to be the greatest athlete to win the Super Bowl. Does anybody going to tell me that Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are spectacular athletes over Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson? No. I think he sees the game better than those other guys. And that's what makes him a great player in that position. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine.
He's a smart kid, man.
He is a smart kid. And to me, he doesn't succumb to pressure. The bigger the moment, he seems to play better. So I think he's a winner. I don't think that this league and the way we judge players now, and I've said this before on this show, I don't think the way we look at quarterbacks or other positions, like we don't judge them by the same standards that we used to judge them by. And one of those things was winning. That used to mean a lot. It seems like now it's all about the stats, the touchdown passes, the throwing yards. But going into the playoffs and winning the big games, people, they turn their nose to it. And I think that's wrong.
How about this one here? This is one for you, Philly. Do you have any concern because the buddy relationship and the buddy relationship that Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni has, that he's going to have more influence in the play calling than what he did a year ago with Kellen Moore? Because, again, that relationship with Brian Johnson was there also when they elevated him. Jalen Hurts and him were boys back to Houston. Do you get any concern that gives Nick more latitude to go in there? Because, remember, he's never been a play caller. He's a novice in this. Okay?
No, I don't think so. I'm not concerned.
He's done it before. He did it with Brian.
But the thing is like the identity is established with this offense. A couple years ago, we didn't have Saquon Barkley. They were trying to do things that we weren't. Now you got Saquon Barkley. You've accepted that you're going to run the ball a lot. Okay, we're going to be one of the few teams that run the ball as much as we are. I don't think that you need a surgeon general to be the offensive coordinator. I don't think so. If you were running complex wide receiver schemes and routes and doing all this stuff, you need a better coordinator. But for what the Eagles are, the way they're built, I don't think you need a brain surgeon.
Is Dak Prescott a Hall of Fame candidate?
No, not even close.
Mark?
Not without a Super Bowl.
So you think Phillip Rivers is not a Hall of Famer?
Hell no.
Oh,
no. I'd have to look at his numbers,
Rivers
but I don't think so.
Hall of Fame.
Well, Rivers never won in the playoffs either.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to Canton.
No, it doesn't.
Super Bowls don't validate Canton.
No, but they sure
okay.
help.
Eli will be in there because of that.
Okay, well, I can name you. There's more quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame that haven't won Super Bowls.
Yeah, like
than there are that have.
Okay.
I don't think Dak's a Hall of Famer. I don't think Tony Romo's a Hall of Famer. Listen, I don't
Tony's
even
not.
think Donovan
I'm
McNabb.
sorry. I'm a Cowboy homer, and I don't think Tony Romo is.
You think Dan Marino and a guy like Warren Moon aren't Hall of Fame players?
Yes, those two are. Yes.
Yes, they're probably two of the greatest. Pure passers I've ever watched.
Although Warren Moon's playoffs were atrocious.
Warren Moon.
Yeah, well, that
playoffs
stupid running
record
shoot,
was
you
atrocious.
You couldn't run. They couldn't run the ball in the playoffs. It's like what you see with a lot of quarterbacks today. You go into the playoffs. You want to throw during the season. These guys throw 35 times a game. You get in the playoffs. It's not that kind of game anymore.
You mean the Dallas Cowboys?
Including Dallas.
That's the Cowboy
and his interceptions when he gets to. I've never seen a
rush
guy
for like
go to the
60
playoffs
yards
and throw a pick six. It's like every playoff game. I know Dak Prescott will throw a pick six. It'll happen, or he'll run out the clock with no timeouts.
You think Dan Fouts is not a Hall of Fame player?
I think he is. I don't think it stops you from getting the Hall of Fame, but I think that
it helps you get in there.
Sure, helps you more than it hurts you. Look, I think Randall Cunningham should be in the Hall of Fame, but I don't think McNabb should be in the Hall of Fame.
How about Jim Kelly?
Randall changed again. Jim Kelly, yeah.
Jim Kelly should.
Hall of Famer. Yeah, I think
just having to throw in freaking Buffalo the way he did in the cold weather.
Get in because of his Super Bowls.
Okay,
I think if you look at Eli, he won a Super Bowl against an undefeated Patriots team. Both times he won, and I hate Eli Manning. I hate the Giants. Both times he won, he was on the road as a playoff wildcard team. And he went in, he beat Dallas, was a 1 seed. Green Bay was like a 2 seed. He beat all these 1 seeds like twice. I think he actually gets in because of those rings.
Well, how about this about Eli? I agreed with you on that, Philly. But when you're talking about Eli, the last 10 years, he was 61 and 105.
I know.
He threw more picks than touchdowns.
He stunk.
And he's got a 500 record. He's 117 and 117.
I know.
That's Hall of Fame.
But it's not. But the
I
Super
think
Bowls
Rivers
have to help. I think the Super Bowls put you over the top. I do. I think if Jalen Hurts wins one more Super Bowl, he's going to Hall of Fame. That's the way I think.
with less than 30,000 passing yards, would be the only.
If he wins 2 Super Bowls, he's going to the Hall of Fame. So,
well, I don't know, man.
That would be 3 Super Bowls. What if he wins 3 Super Bowls? Let's say he wins 2 more in the next 5 years. You think he's going?
I think there's a great chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying that. You know what, though? You go in also with your accomplishments in what you accomplished in the league.
I agree. But for guys that don't have the numbers,
Super Bowls will matter.
Super Bowls is what I'm saying. Yes.
Super Bowls.
For instance, if Barkley goes out and has another 2,000-yard season, he'll be the first player in history to ever do it. That will help him get in, even though he doesn't maybe have the numbers from being with the Giants.
Who do you think's had a better career, Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley?
To this point, I think McCaffrey's had a better career as a whole. I think Saquon's best years are the next 2 to 3.
Wait, what's his name? Has nearly 550 receptions.
As of right now, where in what they've done so far, you got to give McCaffrey the nod. But I believe that the prime years for Barkley are starting right now.
Do you think CeeDee Lamb is on a projection to be a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Are you kidding me? The numbers for him to start his career?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll agree to disagree on that one. And
he's better than Dez Bryant.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
CeeDee's better than Dez.
CeeDee Lamb's numbers, yes, right now, and you're going to see him be able to continue to roll. I mean, he's got the Dallas Cowboys single-season record of 1,700 yards. Even with freaking Cooper Rush last year throwing to him, he had 1,100 yards.
Wow. I voted for, by the way, Dez for the College Football Hall of Fame last
And he should be there. Dez was an incredible athlete. But Dez, the thing about Dez, why his career wasn't able to go, was Dez was a basically dry in the dirt guy. Make the shit up and be able to roll. But and he could just out physical people. Unfortunately, when he started slowing down, he didn't have the skill set to be able to continue to perform in the same level. And see, that's where Jerry Rice was such a tactician. Even though he got older, he could rely on his route running and things and being in the right place at the right time. And that's the difference with Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant, young, was an incredible athlete and a great wide receiver, but it just didn't maintain as he got older.
Last question for you guys. First, Philly. Yesterday was the last dress rehearsal. How you feeling about, do you have enough talent on that football team, in your opinion, with all the losses that you have and a lot of the question marks that you have with guys that have not performed before and a lot of injured dudes? You got Nolan still injured. You still got N'Kobe injured, and your first-round draft choice won't be ready probably until August. That's what they're saying, that he may come sooner because he's younger. How do you feel about it?
I feel great. I feel great. I think they're more than talented. I think there's 2 questions that we've got to ask ourselves about the team, the cornerback and the safety position. I think we're going to have to see how that plays out. But I like the young talent. I like that this young talent played inside the playoffs last year and performed well. So I expect them to play good, especially down the stretch. We'll see where they are health-wise coming into the season. That, of course, will be important, but I think they have more than enough to go back and win again.
Have you done enough, Mark, to prepare yourself for September 4th to beat that Eagle team?
I still think there's a lot of question marks in our secondary, although Diggs is saying that he's shooting for September 4th, which I'm not sure how much rust he's going to have. That's going to be my worry, is the secondary, and I still think the Cowboys still need more help on the defensive line to stop the run.
Will you have Micah under contract by the time September 4th comes?
I think they will. Micah seems to be planning on being at training camp. He's already got a house in Oxnard for training camp for himself and his family to stay at. He's saying all the right things and all that, and I hope that the Cowboys get the thing done. I don't want to see a situation where – see, here's the thing that people don't understand about Micah Parsons being there at training camp. It not only hurts Micah Parsons, but it also hurts the rest of the team, because if you have a guy like Tyler Guyton who's going against Micah Parsons in practice, it makes him better. It makes everybody else better. And you're going to miss the leadership standpoint.
Don't you see that shit-eating grin over there at Philly, man? He's just looking at you right now. And why do I get the sense he's laughing at everything you say about your Cowboys? I mean, look at him.
Because he's laughing at everything I say about my Cowboys?
Yeah. Well,
Because it's a broken record for 7 years. It's the same thing every year.
You know what?
That Dallas team can't run the ball, and they can't stop the run. You don't win in this league if you can't do that.
You know what? An inventor can be wrong 99 times, but once he finally gets it right, that one thing he gets right makes him rich. Okay.
I'll
you know how many times Edison failed on the light bulb? But once he got that sucker right.
I'll take those odds. That this is not the one time.
I can't wait for September 4th. Mark,
you watch. Mark's going to come in. He's going to come in all sad after we kick that team's ass.
I'm playing with house money here.
Dak didn't get any help. The new offensive line, they couldn't make any stops, and the Eagles line just took advantage of us, and Barkley just wore us down.
Are you still guaranteeing a victory?
Mark, can you imagine if you win
Poor
that?
Dak.
Oh, my God. It might crush Philly 5. He might not show up. Are you still guaranteeing a victory?
I'm just going to say playoffs. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. If we lose week 1,
okay. All right.
Playoffs.
Look at Philly. If we lose, so what? I don't care, man. It's all about us
playoffs.
getting to Santa Clara.
More. See, Dallas has got more pressure than us.
No, we got no pressure.
That's how I see you, because you've got a team that hasn't won anything. They haven't proved anything. My team is going to have a banner rose that says they're Super Bowl champions.
Do you
I think the pressure
Hollywood
is
Eagles.
on Dak Prescott.
Hollywood Eagles that have this arrogance and stuff. Okay, your refrigerator's full.
Wait a minute.
I don't think it's on the Eagles.
Do you, Mark, do you think you have more pressure on you guys in that game?
No. We're playing with house money.
How can a quarterback,
it's supposed to listen.
Years old, not
this is the Christians versus the Lions, okay? We're the sacrificial team. You're not supposed to win this one. We got a brand new coach.
Philly. He's setting you up, Philly, with that. See what
I know. I don't even listen to that. I just ignore that because I know what
he's doing. Shoot. Those guys are so fucking good.
But the thing about it is Dak Prescott's a 32-year-old quarterback that hasn't shown
31.
Win. You can't tell me that he doesn't come into this season without pressure.
31.
And at this game, 32. I think it'll be 32 by the time season starts,
31.
Right?
Let's fuck that. 31. Hey, Mark, tell the
31, 33. What's the difference?
Just look up Joe Boo Sports Report on everything, okay? JOBU or Mark Holmes. Either one, you'll find me. Okay.
How about Champ?
Or licking Dak's balls. There you go. Type that in too.
My God almighty, what a way to end it. I will see you guys. Thank you so much for doing it. And Mark,
why do I do this shit? Why do I do this shit?
Mark, you've been fighting very hard the last 3, man.
Keep fighting, Mark.
I mean, because you
ain't
keep hope alive,
he's throwing punch. He's doing this. He's going nowhere. I'm just
what are you saying? He's flailing?
Yeah, he's just throwing like this, and I'm just holding his head. Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl champ.
You guys are fucked up. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, man.
Hey, one question. How did the Rumble go with Howard Eskin and crew?
No, we're working on it.
Oh, okay.
I know. We're getting that. Yeah, no. Angelo's already agreed. Howard's got to find time. You guys have inspired. Thank you, bros.
Peace.
Peace out.
You got it. Boy, that September 4th is going to be something else to watch. I cannot wait. Can you imagine? Oh, my God. We may have to do a special on that Friday. Mark will be incorrigible if they win. Holy shit. How many videos? If the Cowboys win, there'll probably be 17,000 videos. He'll probably do this while he's sleeping. Oh, yeah. There'll be a video on him while he's sleeping. He'll be like this. I just woke up. The Cowboys beat the Eagles. Holy cow. Guys, shit. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason, because they win. With over $30 billion recovered.
All right.
I told you, that's what makes them #1. $26 million they got for a family in Pennsylvania. They got $12 million for a family
Let's get
in
out here.
Florida.
Okay, so good people. I appreciate everybody being here and being part of the live stream. That was fun, of course. Going battle with the Philly.500 and the shit-eating grin and things. And I've got a couple things to take care of and catching up with the news. And I appreciate everybody being here. And let's see. I will see you guys real soon. Let's see. I'll see you guys real soon. Peace out.